Let's move on to the big news in the travel industry. The guy at Boeing whose job it is to change the days without an incident sign got to stay home from work yet again.
This morning, an American Airlines Boeing 777 traveling from Dallas to Los Angeles forced to make an emergency landing after reports of mechanical problems. This video capturing the moment the plane carrying 249 people touched down at LAX airport with a possible flat tire. This comes on the heels of several other incidents on Boeing planes in recent days. On Monday, hydraulic fluid began leaking from the bottom of this Boeing 777. Boeing failed dozens of FAA audits with nearly 100 instances of non-compliance after that door plug flew off a 737 MAX 9 in January.
Boeing, what is going on with you? There should be no leaking fluids on planes. Unless you were the guy on the diarrhea plane. He's grandfathered in. He can leak anywhere he wants. At this point, Boeing's competitors barely even need PR departments. They look so good for doing just the bare minimum. Airbus, we don't have any screws left over in the bag.
Nice.
To say, at this point, I'm just done with Boeing airplanes. Back to cruise ships for me, where nothing bad ever happens.
Well, you know who's not worried about Boeing, Desi? Me. All right? Yeah. A door fell off and there was a leak. But guess what? The plane still landed. Boeing should be advertising that. Boeing. We forgot some screws, but you still made it to Tampa. They agree. You know what's way less safe than flying? Taking a car to the airport. My driver this morning passed a semi-truck by cutting through a playground. So, no, I'm not worried about Boeing. The truth is, even with the doors falling off, air travel is still the safest way to get around. So, yeah, I'm going to keep flying. I even flew here today from Brooklyn. So, I don't mind if a door flies off now and then. In fact, I wouldn't mind if a few more doors flew off. If more people were scared of flying, I could get through security a hell of a lot faster. I've got all the things. Pre-check, global entry, clear plus with ads. And I'm still waiting 15 minutes for a guy to fold up his stroller for the first time in his life. And if you disagree, too bad, because planes are the only game in town. What, I'm not going to fly to Vegas for my college buddy's fantasy football draft? Grow up.
Let's move on to some international news, because the U.S. isn't the only country having an election this year.
Russians will head to the polls for 3 days beginning Friday to vote in a presidential election. That has Vladimir Putin seeking a fifth term. President Putin is urging voters to cast ballots as a show of patriotism.
Every vote you cast is valued and meaningful. Therefore, I urge you to exercise your right to vote.
You heard Vladimir Putin. Every vote in this Russian election is valued and meaningful, which is why the winner of this race is completely up in the air.
That's right. Anything can happen, Desi.
That's
so,
right.
Of course, we're going to go all out with a complete team coverage in another installment of Democracy 2024. Let's start over at the Election Center with Ronny Chieng. Ronny, what are the results showing so far?
Oh, it's a tight race, Michael. Let's look at the map here. The red areas are where Putin is winning so far. He's doing well with urban voters, farmers, dead people with college degrees, and women inside of larger women inside of larger women.
All right. Sounds like he's doing great. Can we just call the race for him?
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, okay? Take a look at this area right here, just outside of Moscow, okay? You can see he's in real danger of falling below 99% in this region. So we're going to have to watch that as the night progresses. I mean, it's democracy. Anything can happen.
Ronny, I think that 1% just went down to 0%.
Oh, wow. It did. What a comeback for Putin. I told you, anything can happen.